What's up everybody, my name is DeltaWolf556 and I'm back with another episode of my Fallout 4 playthrough. Last time I finished the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC, and my original plan for this episode was to go ahead and start the Nuka World DLC. However, I am a little unprepared in terms of my weapons and armor, mainly the armor, because as you know, during the Vault-Tec DLC, I did a lot of building. And as such, I got a lot of XP, so I am a little over-leveled in comparison to my armor. But as you know, I did take 2 ranks of the Armorer perk, so I'll be able to make some upgrades and modifications to the armor that I currently have. And that's going to be the main objective for today's video, but not the only thing I'm doing today. Now, if you remember, at the end of last episode, I said I was going to do a little bit of off-screening to build some basic Protectrons at the robot workbench, so I could assign them as provisioners for the supply lines to all of my settlements. Well, I did do that. But while I was doing that, it did get a little dark out at night, so I was like, you know, I should build some streetlights. I normally do that, and for some reason I didn't do that. So as you could probably have already been able to tell, I did in fact build some streetlights all the way from the gate, all the way to the other end of the road here in Sanctuary. And look, there's some of my Protectron provisioners now. Now, if we take a look at the map real quick, here at the bottom, you can press C to show supply lines, or at least if you're on keyboard like I am. And then it shows your supply lines to all of your settlements. So, if you're wondering why there's somebody going from Sanctuary all the way to the Mechanist Lair, yeah, that's Jezebel. Remember Jezebel, the floating robo-brain head with no arms and no legs? Yeah, I don't like her, so she is the one making this dangerous journey from Sanctuary all the way to the Mechanist Lair. Now, I don't have other settlements between Abernathy and Oberland, so there's one that has to go from there to there, and then even worse, there's one that has to go from Oberland all the way to Vault 88. And this one, I did a little bit more heavier robot modifications to make him a little bit tougher, because he is going to probably run into like super mutants and ghouls and raiders and stuff. So now all of our settlements that we currently have are all linked with supply lines, which means that they're going to share all of the buildable resources as well as food and water. So if a settlement is low on food and water resources, it's not a huge deal because we got the temporary solution of supply lines. But like I said, I did build these street lights, and they do go all the way over here. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned it at... What episode was that? What is that? Was that episode 5? When I was originally building Sanctuary? I think it was. But I don't know if I mentioned that I like building my power grid area over here. But in case I didn't, I like building my power grid over here. So I went ahead and built some junk fences, put some electrical signs, you know, to let you know that there's, you know, electrical stuff. I did put a switch here so I could turn off the power to the entire settlement if I need to. And then I just built a 150 power vault reactor right here. I could have built the 500 power one because just like this one, it doesn't have any perk requirements, which is kind of odd. And as you see, no perk requirements, which is just way better than a fusion generator, which requires science of 4, but it only produces 100 power. These are way better. Way better. We're going to be doing a little bit of building this episode, which is, you know, kind of what I was getting at with the, kind of the secondary objective. The main objective is obviously my weapons and armor, but we'll do that in a bit. I did build this Kwanzaa hut right here at the end of this cul-de-sac here, because I like using these for housing, which, now that I look at the settlement menu, it says 6 beds and 10 people. I think they're both green because some of those people are robots, so they don't need beds, so either way, we're going to build some beds. All right, the Kwanzaa hut is done. I just put a red door here, and then I built all the beds and the dressers and the foot lockers and stuff, and then I put some lights on the ceiling, and that's about it. I'll probably end up just cutting out me putting all this stuff here, so this is what it looks like after, you know, but you already saw what it looked like before. So I just built a partially destroyed store right here. There's not a pristine or not destroyed store, so we have to deal with this. Eventually, I will build some of the shops and stuff on like the first floor and up here on the second floor as well, but I don't really feel like doing that right now, so I also need to do a bit of repair work to this floor on the second floor, so we'll do that at some point eventually. I'm also just going to go ahead and scrap this house because we don't need this house. Nope, not that. We don't need this house here anymore. It's in the way of, I don't know, something. Normally, I like to make my museum right here, so I'm just going to start scrapping this house and getting rid of all this stuff, because as I said, this is where the museum is going to be built. Oh, look at that. We reached level 36. Just from placing the new foundation for my museum that I was saying I was going to build. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this level up. What did I say I was going to take at level 36? I honestly don't remember. Well, we could take Armorer 3. That's tempting. Or Gun Nut 3. Honestly, let's just take Gun Nut 3. Why not? Taking Gun Nut 3 will definitely allow us to actually be able to upgrade our weapons Alright, after a little bit of building later, this is the final product of the museum. I know it looks like a barn, but that's what we were going for, alright? Just bear with me, alright? Then we'll go inside, and it's pretty empty right now. This is what I got. I don't really have any lights aside from this, because this is the only thing I have in the museum right now. The mechanist suit, and then I put a spotlight there on the ground to light it up. It's very nice. Eventually, I'm thinking I'll put the weapon racks on this side so I can display, like, unique weapons and stuff I'm not using over here, and then, you know, I'll have more spotlights and stuff, you know, shining on them. And then I'll just have more, like, unique outfits and stuff all along on this side over here. I might make a separate building for, like, power armor to go in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you think down in the comments. With the museum building being done, that's going to be all the settlement building stuff that I'm doing today. So let's head over to our armor workbench. After I check the sanctuary workshop and dog meat in case there's any other armor pieces. Oh, yeah. And I know I ignored him, but this is one of my Protectron provisioners. Yes, I know. Shut up. This is the Sanctuary Hills to 10 Pines Bluff one. That's why his name is Sanctuary-10 Pines. That's pretty much how I named all of them. Okay, so we got an Acrobat's Polymer Combat Armor left leg. So what else do I have for my left leg? I got a pocketed painted metal left leg. And that's it for left leg. So if I can make this into pocketed, I think we'll use this. Instead of strengthened, we throw on... Oh, deep pocketed already? Oh, that's even better than pocketed. Because pocketed improves it by 5 or 10 pounds. I think it's 5, and then this one is 10. But I could be wrong, and maybe this is 15. I guess we'll see here shortly. So we'll put deep pocketed on this. And then for the main modification, it already has the best one on it. Well, that's very nice. And then for paint, no paint, invisible paint. So, you know, you can only have your... whatever clothing you're wearing, I guess, but I don't really care too much about that. And the Minutemen paint job, I think we're good. All right, so this is going to be my new left leg that we're going with. So 13 and 13, and then 50% reduced falling damage, and then however much carry weight that deep pocketed gives. And I think that was Preston behind me, which just reminded me that while I was off-screening building those Protectrons, he did finally give me another one of those Minutemen quests. Yeah, Ghoul Problem at Green Top Nursery. So we'll go over there at some point. Obviously not today and not for the next handful of episodes, because we are going to be going into Nuka World next episode. Next up, we got a left arm. So let's check my other left arms. We got a Sharp Synth left arm, which the only reason I grabbed this out of the workbench because of the +1 charisma, and it already only weighs 1.7. And then we could put it... Oh, never mind. It already has the lighter build on it. Well, I guess I could maybe see if I could put on the ultra light build so it could be even lighter. So then there's really no point in not carrying it. And then as long as I remember to actually put it on, then I'll have the +2 charisma from the suit and then a +1 from this. So I'll have basically +3. In that case, we're going to keep the duelist painted metal left arm for the time being. So I could put that straight up to polished, which will bring me from 10 and 6 to 15 and 9. Or I could put on Shadowed, which will make me be a little more stealthy in dark areas and slightly improve the damage and energy resistance from 10 and 6 to 12 and 6. You know what? Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? And we got Strengthened on it at the moment, which reduces limb damage. Could put on Muffled, so that'll help reduce detection from moving, which will help a little bit more. But I think we're going to put on Deep Pocketed. And then once again, no paint. Next up, we got our chest pieces. So let's find... Oh, there it is. I think that's the only chest piece I have. Yeah, just these two. Yep, just these two. So they're metal and combat armor. The combat armor's got a lot more energy than the metal one does, and they both provide the same amount of radiation. Oh, because they're both lead lined, that's why. Okay, so let's see how much this could get up to. We can go up to 22 and 13 as opposed to 22 and 22. So I think we're going to go with the combat armor, and then instead of lead lined, we are in fact going to throw on deep pocketed once again. No paint. The next is the right arm, so we have this combat armor and this metal right arm, and I don't think I have a legendary one. It doesn't seem like I do. Yeah, we just have these two, so the pocketed enameled metal right arm is at 10 and 5, and we could get that up to 13 and 7. And then the combat armor, which is at 9 and 9, can get up to 12 and 12, so obviously a lot more energy resistance, but one less damage resistance. I think we'll go with the combat armor anyway. Now, I want to put deep pocketed on this, but muffled and stabilized are both very tempting. Because as I start sniping more, stabilized will become a little more useful to me. because, you know, as it says there, scoped aiming is more steady, but also muffled because that'll help reduce detection while I'm moving, which will definitely be useful when I become the inevitable stealth archer, or, well, stealth sniper, because this is Fallout 4. Let's just go with deep pocketed for right now. Can't go wrong with that. I believe the last one I'll need is the right leg, which I got a pocketed painted metal right leg right now, which is at 8 and 4, which I could get up to 13 and 7. It's already got pocketed on it, which is nice. Then I got this one, which is already pocketed as well. This one is, oh, this is already fully upgraded to polymer. Okay, well, I think I might just go with this combat armor then. I also have another one, which the only difference is this one is strengthened and this one is pocketed, but I think what we're going to do is instead of getting deep pocketed, oh, I know, I'm not going to go deep pocketed for once, we're going to go with muffled, so it can, you know, get some reduced detection while moving. And I think we're good on armor. We're on our acrobatics polymer combat armor left leg, our deep pocketed polymer combat armor chest piece, and the combat armor right arm, as well as our muffled polymer combat armor right leg. And that brings our carry weight up to 390. What was it at before? I honestly don't know. Actually, let me check. How much is, if I pull this off? Okay, so it is 10 pounds. So it's 5 pounds for pocketed, and then it's 10 pounds for deep pocketed. Now, real quick, though, because I forgot about it, and I remember when I was putting the armor I'm no longer using in the workbench over there, I just remembered that I was going to see if I could make this thing even lighter. Now it's at 1.7. Can I get the ultralight? I cannot. Not until Armorer 3, and then it only weighs half a pound. That's actually pretty good. All right, well, we're going to keep it for right now, like I said, because +1 charisma. It'll help with our speech checks. Now, that's all I'm going to be doing with armor. I'm not going to bother with my power armor. Now, I did build this ammo crafting workbench, which, if you remember, I did unlock the ability to build these when we were still in the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC over in Vault 88, and I built one in there, but I didn't actually use it yet. So we can break down ammo, and then we can get some, you know, raw materials out of it. And more importantly, we can craft some ammo. So there's not a crafting slider in this game, so oh wow, you can craft, oh, but perk requirements. All right, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Although I don't know, is that too cheap to craft a fusion core? I mean, I'm probably not going to do that anyway, but it's got the perk requirements and requires a decent amount of material, so I guess that's probably fair. I feel like the mini nukes are a little cheap, but maybe not. They do require a lot of perk investments though, so maybe not. But anyway, we'll test it to see how many bullets we craft with the 308 rounds. So we'll make a single 308 round, which is actually 15. So I'm assuming it's always 15. Okay, it didn't pop up that time. So, I don't know. So it looks like it crafts 15 at a time. So that's the ammo crafting workbench. We'll probably end up doing more with this in the future, but in the meantime, we got a ton of new weapons, so let's take a look at some of those. And I just got Gun Nut 3 as well, so I should be able to make some decent modifications to some of them. And I just remembered that I was gonna increase my strength, so that way I could get blacksmith, so I could actually build weapons workbench at other settlements. Well, I keep forgetting these things, so it is what it is. Can't really do anything with these melee weapons for a little while. So first off, we got our 10mm submachine guns, so I should be able to definitely, oh yeah, I could basically get every modification for this now that I have gun nut. Oh wait, I only need a gun nut 2 for the powerful receiver? Are you kidding me? Why didn't I check? No wonder this thing is feeling really weak. I also haven't invested anything into the commando perk yet, so my automatic weapons aren't going to be doing that great, but we're going to go straight to the powerful receiver. Up from 14 to 23 damage. Very nice. And we got our short stock on it still. Nope, apparently Preston liked that. Definitely seems like I could put on any modification I want for the 10mm submachine gun at this point. So the marksman stock and the recoil compensating stock weigh the exact same. They're both 16.6 up from 14.8. So the only difference is this one gives you better aim with scopes, which Fallout 4 is really weird when you're ADS. Or when you, like, aim with your scopes or optics or whatever. It's like there's still a whole bunch of, like, bullet spread. So I'm pretty sure that's what it means by better aim with scope. It kind of reduces some of that ADS spread, so that could actually be pretty useful. But I think we'll go with the marksman stock on this thing. Extended magazine. Oh, yeah, I already have the biggest magazine available. I could put the converted magazine, but that only lets it do an extra 3 damage. That's not a lot, to be honest. I'll just keep the extended mag. Then standard sights, holographic, makeshift, and reflex. We'll keep the standard sights. I like the 10mm submachine guns iron sights. And then we got a barrel extender on it right now. And it looks like the sleepy time is the only modification for the 10mm submachine gun that I need gun nut 4 for. So eventually we'll get that. But we got the angled suppressor and the suppressor. So what is the difference here? So it seems like the only difference between these two suppressors is this. The angled suppressor suppresses sound from firing, but then the suppressor silences weapons. So that to me sounds better. So we're going to go with that. And that is everything we can do with our 10mm submachine gun. Next up, we got our newly acquired MG42. So let's see what... Ooh, we could already get it up to powerful. The German receiver is the last one that requires gun nut 4. Dang, look at the value. It's worth a lot. Right now it only does 38 damage. We could take it straight up to 61. So yeah, we're gonna slap that bad boy on there. And then we got the MG42 barrel on it. We could put on an MG34 or the VG38. Seems like if we put this barrel on, it'll reduce our weight by like just under 2 pounds, which could be useful. However, I'm going to keep the MG42 barrel on it because I want it to be an MG42. So we got old magazine and the new mag. Oh, it's just an extended mag. It holds 100 rounds instead of 50. See, I like when mods actually tell you how big the magazine is. It would be nice, like I think I've said multiple times before, if there was like a stat over here that said, hey, your magazine size is this big, and if you put on this attachment or modification, it'll increase it or decrease it, you know? Like, it could just say it right underneath the ammo type, but, I mean, you know. For optic, we're gonna keep the iron sights because we can't put anything on it. I don't think I would have put an optic on this thing anyway. And for the muzzle, we got no muzzle, MG42 compensator, or the VG38 compensator. So, the VG38 compensator just weighs 0.2 pounds more. We're gonna keep the MG42 compensator. Then the bipod is none. Bipod extended. So I guess there actually is a point to having the bipod, because, or at least according to this, better precision and stability. So even though you can't really use the bipod and you can't go prone in Fallout 4, it helps you with your precision and stability. So we are going to keep the extended bipod. And then we could put a sticker on it. Yo, no, wait, where's this? Isn't the sticker on the top of it? Yeah, right there. Probably not going to do anything with that, so we don't need to worry. Ooh, and then got ammo type. So it's got full metal jacket, which is the standard. Armor piercing. It actually reduces the damage by a little bit. And then incendiary, and then high explosive, which is extremely overpowered. As you can see, right now we only do 61 damage. This does 54, and this also does 61. This does 101, plus the explosive splash damage. So it's basically like you just got a explosive legendary MG42, which if you get a bleeding MG42, because bleeding stacks in Fallout 4, poisoning doesn't stack, but bleeding does. So if you got a bleeding MG42 and then you put on the high explosive, it would basically be like a bleeding explosive legendary weapon, which is insane, paired with this thing's insanely fast fire rate as well. But I think we'll keep full metal jacket on it for right now. Yeah, we'll just keep full metal jacket on there, and then we can swap the ammo from 5mm to 308. I think we'll keep it on 5mm just because I have a lot of that, or well, a decent amount. That's it for the MG42. Next up, my old friend, the DKS 501. So we could finally increase this to calibrated, straight up from 87 to 115. And that is as powerful as it can be without converting it to 50 BMG. And we still got the scout barrel on it, which I think we'll keep the scout barrel because I don't really need more range. Although the long barrel does give me better sighted accuracy, which is good. However, you know what? Yeah, we'll just throw on the long barrel. Why not? And we got a makeshift stock, so we could put on the marksman stock now. We got a medium magazine. Oh, we could already put the large mag on it. You already know. Got a medium scope on it, which I think I'll keep the medium scope. Oh, wait. I don't remember if I talked about it or not, but I did get a mod that actually allows you to turn on and off the night vision. And instead of the night vision just being turned on 24/7, you know, now you can actually toggle it on and off. I want to get the long scope, but, you know, more importantly, the long night vision scope, because it actually looks like the optic that's on the DKS 501, or the, you know, the classic Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas sniper rifle. But like I said, for right now, we'll throw on the medium night vision scope. Worst case, the night vision toggling mod doesn't actually work, and then I could just put this one back on, because in case you didn't know, in Fallout 4, when you build a new modification, you keep the old one. So you could just reattach it or move it over to a different weapon if you want. Definitely nice. And we can't get the suppressor just yet. Dang, that is unfortunate. Could put on the muzzle brake, though, instead of the compensator. It hurts our range a little bit somehow, but let's just go ahead and throw on a muzzle brake. Why not? And then material, we got standard, and then, you know, we need more gun nut. Really, just one more rank of gun nut, and then I could put on ballistic fiber weave on this thing? That actually doesn't really save me a whole lot of weight anymore, but it's still better than nothing. Okay, next up, we got another newly acquired weapon, the M1 Grand, or apparently an experimental M1 Grand. So, standard receiver, light frame, receiver, powerful receiver, hair trigger. So, unless I get gun nut 4, this thing is going to be doing less damage than the DKS 501. Even if I did have gun nut 4. This thing is only doing 112 damage, whereas the DKS 501 is already up to 115. So in that case, I think we're probably not going to use the M1 Grand, even though I would love to hear the ping every 8 rounds, but you know what I mean. Standard sights, half ring, glow sights, half ring, M84 scope, see-through version, then the experimental sight, and then a see-through version of that, which is actually kind of cool that it includes the see-through and a regular version. But I'm just kind of looking at it right now. I'm not actually going to put any of the modifications because, as we already established, this thing isn't going to do as much damage, so I don't think it's going to be worth using. No muzzle, bayonet, flash hider, suppressor. I can put a suppressor on it, though. Having a suppressed sniper is actually useful. However, I think I'll wait until I can get gun nut 4, and then I'll just put that on the DKS 501. Is it just me, or did press and pop in out of nowhere? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. Zoom options, you can change the zoom options, which is actually kind of cool. Blue tape, I don't think it does anything for you. No tape. Why though? Black tape. It's okay. Blue is better. Blue tape, highly recommended. Well, it's got the blue tape on it to begin with. And then we got skin, so there's pristine and worn. We'll keep worn on it for right now. So, yeah, like I said, we're unfortunately not going to be using the M1 Grand, so oh well. We got our hardened converted carbine. Now that we have gun nut 3, we should be able to maybe further increase our damage with this thing. So we're doing 60 with it right now. We could throw on the powerful to bring us up to 72, which it seems like that's all I can do. So I will absolutely take another 12 damage with this thing. A weapon that uses 38 caliber. Like, that's such a common ammo. I mean, I know I don't have a lot of it, but it's such a common ammo that this thing does more damage than my Chinese assault rifle, which uses 5.56 right now. We still got our short wooden barrel on it, which I might actually throw on the short polymer just because that weighs a little bit less. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to throw on the short polymer barrel, so then that'll decrease our weight by 1.2 pounds. That's very nice. Combat stock is on it right now, and I think we're going to keep that because it's pretty light, and I'm not going to bother with another optic. We'll keep, okay, I guess I don't have... Okay, everything requires gun nut 4, apparently. And the 9mm advanced lower receiver. And that is the best one available for that. And then advanced upper receiver right now. Can I put on something better? Doesn't seem like I can. Not until right here. Which, oh, that removes our carry handle. Oh, but I need to find marksman attachments magazine. I forgot about that. Well, that's fine. We're going to keep the advanced upper receiver then. No sticker, and we're going to keep the standard paint on it as well. Next up is the aforementioned Chinese assault rifle, which doesn't do as much damage as a converted service rifle. But either way, I guess you could say it does 75 damage, which I'm sure I mentioned that already, because it does 60 damage plus an additional 15 for incendiary, which incendiary also doesn't stack in this game. It's kind of interesting. You would think that maybe if you shoot them with incendiary or poison, it may not stack the effect, but it'll increase the duration of said effect, or maybe something like that. But bleeding is the only one that actually stacks, which gets really OP. We got the hardened receiver, which I could put on a powerful receiver, which is the most powerful receiver. Oh wait, nope, advanced, which is at the top for some reason. Normally the more powerful stuff is, all right, whatever. We'll throw on that. That's an extra 5 damage. Standard barrel, which we're going to keep the standard barrel for right now. We got our folding stock on it, which I think we'll also keep the folding stock on that. We already got the extended mag. We'll keep our standard sights. I can put a suppressor on this thing, though. Yeah, suppressor time. Heck yeah. And then we can put on incendiary. Oh, I don't even have a single rank of demolition expert yet. Wow, I am slacking. I am slacking on that. That would be nice to have, but, you know, we're going to keep full metal jacket for the time being, and then semi-auto, which I don't have gun nut 4, so it's going to be stuck in semi-auto. I would like this thing to be full auto, but I also need to put some perks into commando, otherwise my automatic weapons are going to be really bad. That's okay. Then right now it's still using 5.56, which I think will keep it using 5.56. Although if I convert it to 5mm, it'll be using the same ammo as the MG42, but I got quite a bit more of that right now, but I think it'd be better used in that MG42. I only have 5 rounds of 7.62, so I'm not doing that. We're going to keep it at 5.56. That's all I can do with that. And then we got a Relentless triple-barreled missile launcher, so... Oh, we could throw the quad barrel on this thing. Let's throw the quad barrel on this thing. It doesn't really make much sense. I can't rotate it for some reason, but if I could, you would see what I mean. It looks kind of odd. Even the triple barrel doesn't make that much sense. Kind of odd how this missile launcher works, and why Bethesda thought it, looked super awesome and thought it would work so well, but let's keep the scope on it. I'm going to save myself 1 adhesive and 2 steel. As you can see, I am definitely struggling on that. The targeting computer would be nice to have someday, but gun nut 4 and science of 2, so bayonet. Yeah, we're going to remove the bayonet. I don't know why there's a bayonet on this to begin with. What in the... Better accuracy and recoil, reduced range. Well, I don't think it really matters since its range is 1,497. But, because it has the quad barrel, Bethesda, can you explain how a single muzzle device on one of the 4 barrels is going to make sense when the quad tube with the rockets in them does not rotate or anything? I mean, I'm going to put this on just for the sake of the increased accuracy and recoil control, so I can spam the 4 rockets pretty quick. However, that's still super odd, and we got high velocity missiles on this, so I think we'll keep that just because that's... Ooh, we got high explosive. Oh! 161 to 226? And then with gun nut 4, we could put on hive missiles, which... Those are very weak, to be honest. 26. Although it says splits into 9 clusters, so I guess that's 26 times 9. But it's kind of odd that gun nut is affecting these 2 right here, because maybe you would think that high explosive would require at least 1 rank of demolition expert, and then hive missile would require maybe 2? Yeah, let's go ahead and just put on the high explosive. I'll definitely take an extra... What is that? That's about... What? 65-ish damage, I think. Could be wrong on that, but more or less, that's still a great, very welcome damage increase. And I also didn't even notice how much range this thing had to begin with, so that's nice. And then that's all we can do with this missile launcher for right now. Next up is our snub-nose 44 pistol that I picked up from that water pump across the river from Sanctuary Hills that I haven't done anything with since I got it. So, you know what? I think we'll just unfavored it and favored a different weapon since I haven't even used it, so I'm not going to bother upgrading it right now. Then our combat rifle that I completely forgot about. So, right now, this automatic receiver does 23 damage. This one does 31. This one does 31 as well. I think we'll throw on the hardened armor piercing, even though it does reduce the range a little bit, but it'll buff, We'll keep the long... Never mind, we'll put on the long light barrel. We want to reduce the weight as much as possible. And then we got our full stock, marksman and recoil compensating. I think we'll put on the marksman stock as well. We already got a large magazine on this thing. Don't need to worry about that. Going to keep our reflex dot on there, and then I can't put a suppressor on it yet. I don't know why the compensator and the muzzle brake look exactly the same, because they shouldn't, but we'll put on the compensator because, that'll help with automatic recoil. That's all we'll do with that. And then we got our combat shotgun, which I haven't touched this thing in a while. Ooh, I should craft some 12 gauge. Yes, I'm going to craft some 12 gauge after I'm done modifying it. So what receiver do I have on this thing right now? A powerful receiver, which does 125 damage. So is there anything that does more than that? 146. Absolutely. We got a short barrel on this thing right now. We could put on one of the long barrels, but we're going to go with the short ported and shielded barrel. So that'll help with our recoil a little bit and doesn't weigh any more than this, but makes it a little more accurate, which is nice. We got the full stock on it, which I think will keep the full stock just because I don't really want to increase the weight too much. We're definitely keeping the drum mag on. Oh, we could put on the quick eject drum. Yep. We could already put the quick eject drum mag on this thing. Absolutely. It weighs slightly more, but that's not a problem. I'm actually going to drop the reflex dot for the front sight ring because I like the Fallout 3 combat shotgun. It is kind of weird how the magazine is at the front of the Fallout 3 combat shotgun. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but, you know, I like it. So that's why I like having the front sight rings, because it reminds me of the Fallout 3 combat shotgun. We could put a muzzle. Oh, we could put all of the muzzle devices on this. Oh, nice. This thing seems really good for only requiring gun nut 3 to basically have access to everything that you could possibly put on this thing. We could put a suppressor on this thing, but look how abysmal the range is. 17 from 47. I'm thinking we'll just put on a compensator to help with a little bit of recoil when I'm, you know, panic firing this thing, even though that weighs quite a lot. That's a very heavy compensator. All right, then I believe that's pretty much everything except for our tactical Tesla rifle, which I need science, so I can't do anything with this. That is all we're going to be doing with our weapons. Now, Ada, I know you walked up to me while I was at the bench asking me if you wanted me to travel, or you wanted to travel with me, but, no. You came up to me. I didn't come up to you, and I got dog meat. We're not taking companions with us over there. But real quick, before I forget, we are going to craft some 12 gauge. Here we go. That's 15, 30, 45, 60, something. I could craft quite a bit of shotgun shells. I think we're good. I think that's probably good, right? Oh, yeah. We're already up to 202. And it holds 32 in the drum. Let's go. All right. What other ammo do I need to craft? So we're good on shotgun ammo for right now. I could use some more 5mm. If I don't get some now, I will definitely need some in the future, but we won't worry about that right now. I think I'm good for 38. I could use some more 5.56, especially if I start using this thing a bit more, but I think we'll live without it for right now. 45 auto, I'm not really using this weapon that much. It's just kind of here in case I decide to use it, so... You know, I could use some more 308 because I'm always sniping with this thing. So, missiles, I think we'll live without the missiles. Don't need that. I think 10mm and 308 is really what I need. So, we'll craft some more 10mm as well as some 308. Alright, I think that's good for 308. So, then we'll craft a little bit of 10mm ammo. There we go. And then we'll craft a tiny bit of 5.56. Oh, it crafts 20 at a time for 5.56. That's fine. And then... yeah, I think we're good on ammo now. We should be more than good on ammo. Oh yeah, 812 with that, and then up to 227, up from like 107. So that's definitely good for this. Also, I want to test the night vision scope real quick. So, you know, since I'm still here, I can just put the other one back on if it's, you know, not gonna work properly. So, oh, it does, and it uses fusion cells as a okay, that's actually kind of cool. But yeah, so now we got our night vision scope. So. If it's too dark or if it's nighttime, I can turn it on, and then we could turn, you know, makes sense, you know. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So let's put our other weapons and all those mods that I'm now holding on in my inventory. All right, so I just redid a bunch of my hotkeys. I removed the Snubnose 44 and some of the other weapons. So we are good to go with all of these. And I want to look at this Relentless quad-barrel missile launcher. Talk about why it's so weird. Why it doesn't really make much sense. Because, well, right off the bat, you could see, like, 3 of the missiles don't even have a place for their propulsion gases and stuff to go, and not to mention there's not even like a firing mechanism for them. But then when you shoot it, let me switch back to first person. When you shoot it, they just somehow magically fire out, and then the reload's okay, but like they maybe could have made it so where like it rotates, like after each shot, like the tube will rotate. But I guess that's too much to ask for, and then we'll inspect it in here, and then that stabilizer thing I was talking about, it only covers the first one down in this bottom corner. That's why, like, they should have made it, like, rotate after each shot, because then it would actually make sense, because there's no place for the backblast to go. It's going to go right in your face, because, you know, your face is, like, right here. There's a better angle. It's like, your face is, like, right there, so the backblast from the rockets that magically fire is going to get right in your face. But really, the main thing is it just doesn't make sense because there's not really a firing mechanism for them. They just shoot off of hopes and dreams or something like that. I don't know. But for gameplay purposes, we are going to use it because it does do more damage than any other weapon that I have. And it has more range than my sniper, so maybe this will be a better sniper than my actual sniper. And with all that stuff being done, we are going to end off this episode here. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a like on it. If you happen to be new to the channel, I would appreciate you subscribing. Other than that, in the description, there is going to be a link to a Google document, which will have the links to every single mod that I'm using in case you want to know what they are for yourself, or if you want to use them for yourself. Oh, that's right. I was going to build a dock down here, but then I never finished it. That's what I was working on. I'm pretty sure I said that at the beginning of the episode, didn't I? I said that there was something I was doing, but I forgot what it was. It was this. I was building a dock here. Well, maybe I'll remember to do this again in the future. Somebody please remind me in the comments once I get back from Nuka World. Remind me, so that way I remember to finish the dock. But anyway, back to the outro. Yes, in the description, Google document, link to all my mods. There will also be a link to my Discord server in case you want to join that. If you're having any issues or anything with mods, I don't mind helping. You know, I am more than happy to help you out with that kind of stuff there. Other than that, take care. Have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, nighttime, afternoon, whatever time it is for you in whatever time zone you are in. And I will catch you guys later. Delta Wolf, out.